or will you?
You do it.
It's a wonder your father wouldn't look at his watch once in a while. He's a devil for making the meals late, and then Bridget curses me as if I was to blame. Oh, but he's a grand, handsome man if he is old. You'll never catch the day you're as good looking. Or Mr. Jamie either. I'll wager Mr. Jamie would miss the time to stop work and have his drop of whiskey if he had a watch to his name.
You win that one.
Here's another I'd win, that you're making me call them so you can sneak a drink before they come.
Well, I hadn't thought of that.
Oh, no, not you. But it wouldn't melt in your mouth, I suppose.
But now you suggest it.
I'd never suggest a man or woman touch drink, Mr. Edmund. Sure didn't it kill an uncle of mine in the old country? Still, a drop now and then is no harm when you're in low spirits or have a bad cold.
Thanks for handing me a good excuse. You better call my mother, too.
What for? She's always on time without any calling. God bless her. She's some consideration for the help.
She's been taking a nap.
She wasn't upstairs when I finished my work a while back. She was lying down in the spare room with her eyes wide open. She'd a terrible headache, she said.
Oh, well then, just call my father.
No wonder my feet kill me each night. I won't walk out into this heat and get sunstroke. I'll call from the porch. Mr. Tiger!
God, what a witch! Oh.
Sneaking one, huh? Cut out the bluff, kid. You're a rotten American, aren't you?
Oh, yes, I grabbed one while the going was good.
That's better. Why kid me? We're pals, huh?
I wasn't sure it was you coming.
I made the old man look at his watch. I was halfway up the walk when Kathleen burst into song. A wild Irish lark. She ought to be a train announcer.
That's what drove me to drink. Why don't you sneak one while you've got a chance?
I was thinking of that little thing. The old man was gabbing with old Captain Turner, yes. He's still at it. That fixes it. Here's the water you've been drinking.
Fine. You don't think it'll fool him, do you?
Maybe not, but he can't prove it. Hope he doesn't forget lunch listening to himself talk. Hungry. That's what I hate about working down in front. Puts on an act for every damn fool that comes along.
You're in luck to be hungry. The way I feel, I don't care if I ever eat again.
Listen, kid, you know me. I've never let you do that. Dr. Hardy was right when he told you to cut out the red light.
Oh, I'm going to after he hands me the bad news this afternoon, but a few before then won't make any difference.
I'm glad you've got your mind prepared for bad news. It won't be such a joke. I mean, it's a cinch you're really sick. It will be long dope to kid yourself.
I'm not. I know how rotten I feel, and the fever and chills I get at night are no joke. I think Doc Hardy's last guess must be right. It must be the damned malaria come back on me.
Maybe. Don't be too sure.
Why? What do you think it is?
Hell, how would I know? I'm no doc. Where's Mama?
Upstairs.
When did she go up?
Oh, about the time I came down to the hedge, I guess. She said she was going to take a nap.
You didn't tell me?
Why should I? What about it? She was tired out. She didn't get much sleep last night.
Yeah, no, she didn't.
That damn foghorn kept me awake, too.
She's been upstairs alone all morning, huh? You haven't seen her?
No, I've been reading here. I wanted to give her a chance to sleep.
Is she coming down to lunch?
Of course.
No, of course about it. She might not want any lunch. Or she might start having most of her meals alone, upstairs.
Oh,
That's happened, hasn't
Jamie.
it?
Can you think anything but... You're all wrong to suspect anything. Kathleen saw her not long ago. Mama didn't say she wouldn't be down to lunch.
Then she wasn't taking a nap.
Not right then, but she was lying down, Kathleen said.
In the spare room?
Yes, for Pete's sake, what of it?
You damn fool! Why did you leave her alone so long? Why didn't you stick around?
Because she accused me and you and Papa of spying on her all the time and not trusting her. She made me feel ashamed. I know how rotten it must be for her. And she promised on her sacred word of honor.
You ought to know that doesn't mean anything.
It does this time.
That's what we thought the other times. Listen, kid. I know you think I'm a cynical bastard, but remember, I've seen a lot more of this game than you have. You never knew it was really wrong until you were in prep school. Papa and I kept it from you. But I was wise 10 years or more before we had to tell you. I know the game backwards. And I've been thinking all morning of the way she acted last night when she thought we were asleep. I haven't been able to think of anything else. And now you tell me she got you to leave her alone upstairs all morning.
She didn't! You're crazy!
All right, don't start a battle with me, kid. I hope as much as you do I'm crazy. I've been as happy as hell because I finally begin to believe that this time... Oh, she's coming downstairs. Yeah. You win on that one. I guess I'm a damn suspicious louse. Damn, I wish I grabbed another drink.
Me too.
You mustn't cough so much. It's bad for your throat. Do you want to get a cold on top of your sore throat? Oh, for heaven's sake, I always seem to be picking on you. Telling you don't do this and don't do that. Forgive me, dear. It's just that I want to take care of you.
I know, Mama. And how about you? Do you feel rested?
Yes, ever so much better. I've been lying down ever since you went outside. Just what I needed after such a restless night. I don't feel nervous now.
That's fine.
Good heavens, how down to the mouth you look, Jamie. What's the matter now?
Nothing.
Oh, I'd forgotten. You've been working on the front bench all morning. That accounts for your sinking into the dumps, doesn't it?
If you want to think so, Mom.
Well, that's the effect it always has, isn't it? Oh, what a big baby you are, isn't he, Edmund?
He's certainly a fool to care what anyone thinks.
Yes, the only way is to make yourself not care. Where's your father? I heard Kathleen call him.
Gabbing with old Captain Turner, Jamie says. He'll be late, as usual.
I've told Kathleen time and again she must go to wherever he is and tell him. The idea of screaming as if this was a cheap boarding house.
She's down there now, interrupting the famous, beautiful voice. She should have more respect.
It's you who should have more respect. Stop sneering at your father. I won't have it. You ought to be proud to be his son. He may have his faults, who hasn't? But he's worked hard all his life. He made his way up from ignorance and poverty to the top of his profession. Everyone else admires him. You should be the last one to sneer. You, who, thanks to him, have never had to work hard in your life. Now, Jamie, your father is getting old. You ought to show more consideration.
I ought to?
Oh, dry up, Jamie. And for Pete's sake, Mama, why jump on Jamie all of a sudden?
Because he's always sneering at someone else. Always looking for the worst weakness in everyone. But I suppose life has done that to him, and he can't help it. None of us can help the things life has done to us. They're done before we realize it. And once they're done, they make us do other things. Until at last, everything comes between you and what you like to be, and lost your true self forever.
I'm hungry. I wish the old man would get a move on.
Yeah.
It's a rotten trick the way he keeps meals waiting and then feasts because they're spoiled.
Yes, it's very trying, Jamie. You have no idea how trying. You don't have to keep house with summer servants who don't care because they know it isn't a permanent position. All the really good servants are with people who have homes, not merely summer places. And your father won't even pay the wages the best summer help has. So every summer I have stupid, lazy greenhorns to deal with. Oh, you've heard this 1,000 times. So it's he. Goes in one ear and out the other. Your father thinks that money spent on a home is money wasted. He's lived too much in hotels. Never the best hotels, second-rate hotels. He doesn't understand home. He doesn't feel at home in it. Yet he wants a home. He's even proud of his shabby place. Oh, he loves it here. It's really funny when you think about it. He's a peculiar man.
What makes you ramble on like that, Mama?
Oh, nothing in particular, dear. It is foolish.
Lunch is ready, ma'am. I went down to Mr. Tyrone like you ordered, and he said he'd come right away, but he kept talking to that man, telling him
All
of the
right,
time.
Daphne. Tell Bridget I'm sorry, but you'll have to wait a few minutes until Mr. Tyrone is here.
Yes, ma'am.
Damn it. Why don't you go ahead with him? He's told us to.
He doesn't mean it. Don't you know your father yet? He'd be so terribly hurt.
I'll make him get a move on. Hey, Papa! Come on, we can't wait all day.
Why do you stare like that?
You know.
I don't know.
For God's sake, do you think you can fool me, Mama? I'm not blind.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No. Take a look at your eyes in the mirror.
I got Papa moving. He'll be here in a minute. What's happened? What's the matter, Mama?
Your brother should be ashamed. He's been insinuating I don't know what.
God damn you! What?
That immediately. How dare you use such language before me? It's wrong to blame your brother. He can't help what the past has done to him any more than your father can, or you, or I.
He's a liar! It's a lie, isn't it, Mama?
What's a lie? You're talking in riddles like Jamie. Don't, Edmund. Oh, there's your father coming up the stairs. I have to tell Bridget.
Well, what? You're a liar. Here's Papa. I hope he loosens up with the old bottle.
Sorry I'm late. Captain Turner stopped to talk, and once he starts gabbing, you can't get away from him.
I mean, once he starts listening. It's all right. The level in the bottle hasn't changed.
I wasn't noticing that, as if it proved anything with you around. I'm on to your tricks.
Did I hear you say let's all have a drink?
Jamie is welcome after his hard morning's work, but I won't invite you. Dr. Hardy
To hell
said
with
that-
Dr. Hardy! One drink isn't gonna kill me. I feel all in, Papa.
Come along then. It's before a meal, and I've always found that good whiskey, taken in moderation as an appetizer, is the best of tonics. I said in moderation. It'd be a waste of breath mentioning moderation to you. Well, here's health and happiness.
That's a joke.
What is?
Nothing. Here's how.
What's the matter here? There's gloom in the air you could cut with a knife. You got the drink you were after, didn't you? Why are you wearing that gloomy look on your mug?
You won't be singing a song yourself, so...
Shut up, Jamie.
I thought lunch was ready. I'm hungry as a hunter. Where's your mother?
Here I am. I've had to calm down Bridget. She's in a tantrum again over your being late, and I don't blame her. Oh, I'm so sick of pretending this is a home. You won't help me. You won't put yourself out the least bit. You don't know how to act in a home. You don't really want one. You never have. Never since we were married. You ought to have remained a bachelor and lived in second-rate hotels and entertained your friends in bar rooms. And nothing whatever would have happened.
Mama! Stop talking. Why don't we go into lunch?
Yes. Yes, it is inconsiderate of me to dig up the past when I know that your father and Jamie are hungry. I do hope that you have an appetite, Edmund. You really must eat more. Why are you holding that drink? Did you take a drink? How could you? Don't you know it's the worst thing? James, how could you let him? You want to kill him? Don't you remember my father? He wouldn't stop after he was stricken. He said all doctors were fools. He thought like you that whiskey is a good tonic. course, there's no comparison. I don't know why I... Oh, James, forgive me for scolding you. One small drink won't hurt Edmund. It might even be good for him. It gives him an appetite.
For God's sake, let's eat. I've been working in the dirt under the damn hedge all morning. I've earned my grub. Come on, kid. Let's put on a feedback.
You should go in with your mother, lads. I'll join you in a second.
Why do you stare like that? Is my hair coming down? I was so worn out from last night, I thought I'd better lie down this morning. And I browsed off and had a nice, refreshing nap. I'm sure I fixed it again after I woke up, but as usual, I couldn't find my glasses. Please stop staring when you think you were accusing me. James, please. I don't understand.
I understand. I've been a goddamn fool to believe in you.
I don't know what you mean by believing in me. I felt nothing but distrust and spying and suspicion. Are you having another drink? I never have more than one before lunch. Well, I know what to expect. You'll be drunk tonight. But it won't be the first time. Or the 1,000th. James, please. You don't understand. I'm so worried about Edmund. I'm so frightened that he's
I don't want to listen to your excuses, Mary.
Excuses? You mean... Oh, you can't believe that of me. No, 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 you mustn't believe that of me, James. Shall we not go into dinner, dear? I don't want anything, but I know you're hungry. James? James? I tried so hard. Please.
I suppose you did, man. I suppose you did. For the love of God, why couldn't you have the strength to keep on?
I don't know what you're talking about. Having strength to keep on what?
Never mind. It's no use now.
No use finding fault with Bridget. She doesn't listen. And I can't threaten her because she'd threaten to leave. And she does do her best at times. Although those seem to be just the times that you're sure to be late, James. Well, there's this consolation. It's difficult to tell from her cooking whether she's doing her best or her worst. Oh, never mind. The summer will soon be over, thank goodness. Your season will open again and we can go back to second-rate hotels and cranes. I hate them too, but at least I don't expect them to be home. And there's no housekeeping to worry about. It is unreasonable to expect Bridget and Kathleen to act as if this is a home. They know it isn't, just as well as we do. It never was, and it never will be.
No, and it can't be now. It was once before you...
Before I what? Oh no, dear, whatever you mean, it's not true. You've always preferred the club or a barroom. And for me, it's been just as lonely as a dirty room in a one-night stand hotel. Your real home one is never lonely. You forget. I know from experience what a real home is. I gave up one to marry you. My father's home. I'm worried about you, Edmund. You hardly ate anything at lunch. That's no way to take care of yourself. It's all right for me not to have an appetite, because I've been growing too fat, but you must eat. Promise me that you will, dear, for my sake.
Yes, Mama.
That's a good boy.
I'll answer. McGuire said he'd call me.
Wire. He must have a new piece of property on his list that no one would think of buying except your father.
Hello?
Oh, it doesn't matter now. But it's always seemed to me that your father could afford a new piece of property, but never to give me a home.
Oh, how are you, Doctor? I see. Well, you can explain all about him when you see him this afternoon. Yes, he'll be in without fail. 4 o'clock. I'll stop by myself to have a talk with you before that. I have to be uptown on business anyway. Goodbye, Doctor.
That didn't sound like glad tidings.
That was Dr. Hardy. He wants you to be sure to see him at 4.
What did he say? Not that I'd give a damn now.
I wouldn't believe a word if he swore on a stack of Bibles. You mustn't pay attention to a word he says, Edmund.
Mary.
Oh, we all know why you like him, James, because he's cheap. But please, don't try to tell me I know all about Dr. Hardy. Heaven knows I ought to after all these years. There ought to be a law to keep men like him from practicing. When you're given the slightest idea, when you're in agony, half insane, he sits and holds your hands and preaches willpower. He treats you like a criminal. He deliberately humiliates you. He makes you beg and plead. He understands nothing. And yet it was exactly the same kind of cheap quack who first gave you the medicine, and you never even knew what it was until too late. I hate doctors! They'll do anything. Anything to keep you coming to them. And you won't even know it. Until one day, you find yourself in hell.
Mama! For God's sake, stop talking.
Yes, Mary, it's no time.
Oh, forgive me, dear, you're right. It's useless to be angry now. I'm going upstairs for a moment, if you'll excuse me. I have to fix my hair. That is, if I can find my glasses. I'll be right now.
Mary.
Yes, dear. What is it?
Nothing.
You're welcome to come upstairs and watch me if you're so suspicious.
As if that could do any good, you just postpone it. And I'm not your jailer. This isn't a prison.
No. I know you can't help thinking it's a home. Oh, I'm sorry, James. I didn't mean to sound so bitter. It's not your fault.
Another shot in the arm.
Cut out that kind of talk.
Yes, hold your foul tongue and your rotten Broadway locust lingo. Have you no pity or decency? You ought to be kicked out in the gutter, but if I did it, you know damn well who would weep and plead for you and excuse you and complain until I let you come back.
Christ, don't I know that? No pity? I have all the pity in the world for her. I understand what a hard game to beat she's up against, which is more than you ever have. My lingo didn't mean I had no feeling. I was merely putting bluntly what we all know and have to live with now. Again! The cures are no damn good, except for a while. In fact, there is no cure. And we've been saps to hope they never come back.
No, they never come back. It's all in the bag. It's all a frame-up. We're all fall guys and suckers and we can't beat the game. Christ, if I felt the way that you
I
do...
thought you did! Your poetry isn't very cheery. Nor the stuff you read and claim you admire. Your pet with the unpronounceable name, for example.
Nietzsche! You don't know what you're talking about. You haven't read him.
Enough to know it's a lot of bunk.
Shut up, both of you. There's little choice between the philosophy you learned from Broadway loafers and the one Edmund got from his books. They're both rotten to the core. You both flouted the faith you were born and brought up in. The one true faith of the Catholic Church. And your denial has brought you nothing but self-destruction.
That's the bunk, Papa.
We don't pretend at any rate. I don't notice you've worn any holes in the knees of your pants going to Mass.
True, I'm a bad Catholic in the observance. God forgive me. But I believe. And you're a liar. I may not go to the church, but every night and morning of my life I get down on my knees and pray.
Did you pray for Mama?
I did. I prayed for her to God these many years.
Then Nietzsche must be right. God is dead, of his pity for man hath God died.
If your mother had prayed too, she hasn't denied her faith, but she's forgotten it till there's no strength of the spirit left in her to fight her curse. But what's the use of talk? We lived through it before, now we must again. There's no help. Only I wish she hadn't led me to hope this time. By God, I never will again.
That's a rotten thing to say, Papa. Well, I'll hope. She's only just started. It can't have got a hold of her yet. She can still stop. I'm going to talk to her.
You can't talk to her now. Well, she'll listen, but she won't listen. She'll be here, but she won't be here. You know the way she gets.
That's the way the poison works on her always. Every day from now on they'll be the same, drifting
Cut
away
it
from
out,
us.
Papa. I'm going to get dressed. I'll make so much noise she can't suspect that I've come to spy on her.
What did Doc Hardy say about the kid?
It's what you thought. He's got consumption.
Damn it!
There's no possible doubt, he said.
I'll have to go to a sanatorium.
Yes, and the sooner the better, Hardy says, for him and everyone around him. He claims that in 6 months to a year, Edmund will be cured, if he obeys orders. I never thought a child of mine. It doesn't come from my side of the family. There wasn't one of us who didn't have lungs as strong as an ox.
Who gives a damn about that part of it? Where does Hardy want to send him?
That's what I'm to see him about.
Well, for God's sake, pick out a good place and not some cheap dump.
I'll send him wherever Hardy says best.
Well, don't give Hardy your rolled over the hills to the poorhouse song about taxes and mortgages.
I'm not some millionaire who can throw money away. Why shouldn't I tell him the truth?
Because he'll think you want him to pick a cheap dump. And because he'll know it isn't the truth. Especially if he hears afterwards you've seen McGuire and let that flannel-mouthed gold brick merchant sting you with another piece of bum property.
Keep your nose out of my business.
This is Edmund's business. What I'm afraid of is, with your Irish bog-trotter idea that consumption is fatal, you'll figure it'd be a waste of money to spend any more than you can help.
You liar!
All right, prove I'm a liar. That's what I want. That's why I brought it up.
I have every hope Edmund will be cured. And keep your dirty tongue off Ireland. You're a fine one to sneer with a map of it on your face.
Not after I wash my face. Well, I've said all I have to say. It's up to you. What do you want me to do this afternoon now you're going uptown? I've done all I can do on the front hedge until you cut more of it. You don't want me to go ahead with your clipping, I know that.
No. You'd only get it crooked as you get everything else.
Then I better go uptown with Edmund. The bad news coming on top of what's happened to Mom may hit him hard.
Yes. Go with him, James. Keep up his spirits if you can. If you can, without making it an excuse to get drunk.
What would I use for money? Last I heard, they were still selling booze, not giving it away. I'll get dressed.
Have you seen my glasses, Jamie? Have you seen them, James?
No, Mary.
What's the matter with Jamie? Have you been nagging at him again? You really shouldn't treat him with such contempt all the time. He's not to blame. I'm sure if he had a real home, he'd be much different now. You're not much of a weather prophet, James. See how hazy it's getting? I can hardly see the other shore.
Yes, I spoke too soon. We're in for another night of fog, I'm afraid.
Well, I won't mind it tonight.
No, I don't imagine you will, Mary.
I don't see Jamie going down to the front bench? Where did he go?
He's going with Edmund to the doctor's. He went upstairs to get dressed. I'd better do the same, or I'll be late for my appointment at the club.
Oh, don't go yet, dear. I don't want to be alone. Plenty of time. You know you always boast. You can dress in 1/10 the time it takes the boys. There's something I wanted to say. What was it? Oh, I forgot. I'm glad Jamie's going uptown. You didn't give him any money, I hope.
I did not.
He'd only spend it on drink, and you know what a vile, poisonous tongue he has when he's drunk. Not that I'd mind anything he said tonight, but he always manages to drive you into a rage. Especially when you're drunk, as you will be.
I won't. I never get drunk.
Oh, I'm sure you'll hold it well, James. You always have. Be hard for a stranger to tell, but after 35 years of
I've
marriage...
never missed a performance in my life. That's the proof. If I did get drunk, it's not you who should blame me. No man ever had a better reason.
Reason? What reason? You always get drunk when you go to the club, don't you? Particularly when you see McGuire. He sees to that. Don't think I'm finding fault here. You must do as you please. I won't mind.
I know you won't. I've got to get dressed.
Oh, no, stay a little while longer. At least till one of the boys comes down. You'll all be leaving me so soon.
It's you who are leaving us, Mary.
That's a silly thing to say, James. How could I leave? There's nowhere I could go. Would I go to sea? I have no friends here.
It's your own fault. There's surely one thing you can do this afternoon that would be good for you. Take a drive in the automobile. Get away from the house. Get some sun and fresh air. I bought the automobile for you. You know I don't like the damn things. I'd rather walk any day or take a trolley. I had it waiting here for you when you got home from the sanitarium. I hoped it would give you pleasure and distract your mind. You used to ride in it every day, but you hardly use it at all lately. It costs a lot of money I can't afford, and there's a chauffeur that I have to lodge and board and pay high wages whether he drives you or not. Waste! The same old waste that's going to land me in the poorhouse of my old age. What good did it do you? I might as well throw the money out the window.
Yes, it was a waste of money, James. You should never have bought a second-hand automobile. You were swindled again, as you always are, because you insist on second-hand bargains and everything.
It's one of the best makes. Everyone says it's better than any of the new ones.
It was another waste to hire Smythe, who was only a helper in a garage and had never been a chauffeur. Oh, I realize. His wages are much less than a real chauffeur's, but I'm sure he makes up for it by the graft he gets from the garage on repairs. Something is always wrong. Smythe sees to that.
I don't believe it. He may not be a fancy millionaire's flunky, but he's honest. You're bad at Jamie, suspecting everyone.
You mustn't be offended, dear. I wasn't offended when you gave me the automobile. I knew you didn't mean to humiliate me. I knew that was the way you had to do everything, and I was grateful and touched. I knew that buying that car was a hard thing for you to do, and it showed that you loved me. In your way. Especially since you couldn't really have believed it would do me any good.
Mary. Dear Mary. For the love of God, for my sake, and the boy's sake and your own, won't you stop now?
James, please, stop. What are you talking about? James, we've loved each other. We always will. Let's only remember that and not try to understand what we cannot understand or help things that we cannot help. Life has done to us that we cannot excuse or explain.
You won't even try.
Try to take a drive this afternoon? Why, yes, if you wish me to. Although it makes me feel even lonelier than if I stayed here. There's no one I can invite to take a drive with me. And I never know where to tell Smythe to go. Oh, if only there was a friend who lived nearby and I could drop in and laugh and gossip for a while. But there isn't. There never has been. At the convent, I had so many friends. Girls whose families had lovely homes. I used to visit them, and they used to visit me in my father's home. But naturally, after I married an actor, you know how actors are considered in those days, a lot of my old friends just gave me the cold shoulder. And then, right after we were married, there was that scandal about that woman who had been your mistress suing you. And then on, all my old friends either pitied me or cut me dead. I hated the ones that cut me much less than the pitiers.
For God's sake, don't dig up what's long forgotten. If you're that far gone in the past already, when it's only the beginning of the afternoon, what will you be by tonight?
Come to think of it, I do have to go uptown. There's something I must get at the drugstore.
Leave it to you to have stuff hidden away and prescriptions for more. I hope you lay in a good store ahead, so we'll never have another night like the one you screamed for it and ran out of the house in your night dress, half crazy to try and throw yourself off the dock.
I have to get tooth powder and toilet soap and cold cream. You mustn't remember, Jamie. You mustn't humiliate me so.
Well, I'm sorry. Mary, forgive me, please.
Never mind. Nothing like that ever happened. You must have dreamed it. I was so healthy before Edmund was born. Do you remember, James? There wasn't a nerve in my body. Even traveling with you season after season, with week after week of one-night stands and trains without Pullmans, dirty rooms of filthy hotels, bad food, bearing children in hotel rooms. I still kept healthy. But bearing Edmund was the last straw. I was so sick afterwards, and that ignorant quack of a cheap hotel doctor, all he knew was I was in pain. It was easy for him to stop the pain.
Mary, forget the past.
Why? How can I? The past is the present, isn't it? It's the future, too. We all try to lie our way out of that, but life won't let us. I blame only myself. I swore after Eugene died that I would never have another baby. I was to blame for his death. I hadn't left him with my mother. Though I joined you on the road because you had written me telling me how much you missed me and were so lonely, Jamie would never have been allowed, when he still had measles, to go into the baby's room. I've always believed he did it on purpose. He was jealous of the baby. He hated him. Oh, I know Jamie was only 7, but he knew better. He'd been warned that it might kill the baby. He knew. I've never been able to forgive him for that.
Are you back with Eugene now? Can't you let a dead baby rest in peace?
But it was my fault. I should have insisted on staying with him and not let you persuade me to join you just because I loved you. Above all, I should never have let you insist that I had another baby to take Eugene's place, because you thought that would make me forget his death. I knew from experience by then that children need homes to be born into if they are to be good children, and women need homes if they are to be good mothers. I was afraid all the time I carried Edmund. I knew something terrible would happen. I knew that I'd prove by the way I left Eugene that I was not worthy to have another baby, and that God would punish me if I did. I should never have born Edmund.
Mary, be careful with your talk. If he hears you, he might think you never wanted him, and he's feeling bad enough already without...
That's a lie. I did want him more than anything. You don't understand. It was for his sake. He's never been healthy, he never will be, nor happy. He was born nervous and too sensitive, and that's my fault. And now ever since he's been so sick, I've been remembering and my father, and I feel so frightened. But it's foolish to imagine dreadful things when you know there's no reason for them after all. Everyone has colds and gets over them.
Exactly. For God's sake, try and be yourself at least until he goes. You can do that much for him. Well, you look spick and span. I'm on my way up the dress too.
Oh, wait a minute, Papa. I hate to bring up disagreeable topics, but there's the matter of car fare. I'm broke.
And you'll always be broke until you learn the value of... But you've been learning, lad. You worked hard until you took ill. You've done splendidly, and I am proud of you. Thank you. How sharper than a serpent's tooth it is to have
a thankless child, I know. Give me a chance, Papa. I'm knocked speechless. This isn't $1, it's a 10 spot.
Put it in your pocket. You probably meet some of your friends uptown, and you can't hold up your end and be sociable with nothing in your jeans.
You meant it? Gosh, thank you, Papa. But why all of a sudden... Did Doc Hardy tell you I was going to die? That's a rotten crack. I was only kidding, Papa. I'm very grateful. Honest, Papa.
You're welcome, lad.
I won't have it, do you hear me, Edmund? Such sadness and death. It's all you get from books. Father shouldn't allow you to have them, and some of the poems you've written are even worse. You think you didn't want to live, a boy of your age, with everything before you? It's just a pose you get from books. You're not really sick at all.
Mary, hold your tongue.
James, it's absurd for him to be so gloomy and make such a to-do about nothing. Never mind, dear. I'm on to you. I know you just want to be petted and spoiled and made a fuss over. Isn't that so? You're still such a baby. Please, don't carry it too far. Don't say horrible things. I know it's foolish to take them seriously, but I can't help it. You've got me so frightened.
Don't, Mother.
Maybe if you asked your mother now what you said you were going to, by God, look at the time. I'll have to shake a leg.
How do you feel, dear? Oh, it's a little hot, but that's just from going out in the sun. You will do so much better than you did this morning. Come, sit down. You mustn't stand on your feet so much. You must learn to heighten your strength. Here, sit down. Lean back. Relax.
Listen, Mama,
Now, don't talk. You know, I think it would be much better if you stayed home this afternoon and let me take care of you. It's such a tiring trip on the dirty old trolley on such a hot day. You'd be much better off here with me.
You forget I have an appointment with Hardy? Listen, Mama,
You can telephone him and tell him you don't feel well enough. It's simply a waste of time and money to see him. He'll just tell you some lie. He'll pretend he's discovered something serious because that's his bread and butter. He's a fool. All he knows about medicine is to look solemn and preach willpower.
Mama, please listen. I want to ask you something. You've only just started. You can still stop. You've got the willpower. We'll all help you. I'll do anything, Mama. Won't you?
Please, don't talk about things you don't understand.
All right. I knew it was no use.
Anyway, I don't know what you're referring to. I do know that right after I came home from the sanatorium, you began to be ill. The doctor there had told me that I must have peace at home. There's nothing to upset me, and all I've done is worry about you. Oh, but that's no excuse. I was only trying to explain. It's not an excuse. Promise me, you won't believe that I made you an excuse.
What else can I believe?
Yes, I suppose you can't help suspecting.
What do you expect?
Nothing. I don't blame you. How could you believe me when I can't believe myself? I've become such a liar. I never used to lie about anything once upon a time. Now I have to lie. Even to myself. Especially to myself. How can you understand when I don't understand myself? I've never understood anything about it. Except that one day, long ago, I found I could no longer call my soul my own. But someday, dear, I will find it again. Someday when you're all well, and I'll see you happy and healthy and successful. I don't have to feel guilty anymore. Someday, when the Blessed Virgin Mary forgives me and gives me back the faith and her love and pity that I used to have in my convent days, and I can pray to her again, and she sees that no one else in the world can believe in me anymore, not even for a moment, then she will believe in me, and with her help, it will be so easy. I will hear myself scream in agony, and at the same time, I will laugh because I will be so sure of myself. But I suppose you can't believe that either. Now I think of it, you might as well go uptown. I forgot. I'm taking a drive. It's something I have to get at the drugstore. You'd hardly want to go there with me. You'd be so ashamed.
Mama, don't.
I suppose you'll divide that $10 your father gave you with Jamie? You always divide with each other, don't you, like good sports? Well, I know what he'll do with his share. Get drunk someplace where he can be with the only kind of woman he understands or likes. Promise me you won't drink, Jane. Edmund, it's so dangerous. Promise me. Please, you know what Dr. Hardy
I
said.
thought he was an old idiot. Anyway, by tonight, what will you care?
Edmund.
Come on, kid, let's beat it.
Go on, Edmund. Janie's waiting. There's your father coming down the stairs, too.
Come on, Edmund.
Goodbye, Mama.
Goodbye, dear. If you're coming home for dinner, try not to be late. And tell your father, you know how Bridget is.
Bye, Mary.
Bye, Mama.
Goodbye. So lonely here. You're lying to yourself again. You're glad to be rid of them. Their contempt and disgust for pleasant company. Mother